Airport story. A missing lady. In one of the world's most advanced and bustling airports, known for its futuristic design and overwhelming array of features, travelers move through the terminals with purpose, following the rhythm of their journeys. Amid this technological marvel, a middle-aged woman named Susan found herself lost in a moment of confusion. She had left her teenage daughter, Lily, seated in a nearby lobby while she ventured off in search of a restroom, never expecting to lose her way so completely. The airport was a maze of sleek glass and light. Everywhere Susan turned, she was confronted by large, translucent glass doors and elevators, so well integrated into the design that they seemed to disappear into the walls. Every direction seemed the same. The futuristic glass elevators, with their nearly invisible doors, blended into the surroundings, making it difficult for her to distinguish them from regular walkways. Adding to her disorientation were the huge digital monitors displaying flight schedules. These screens were everywhere, and they all looked identical, showing a constant stream of information that meant nothing to Susan in her panic. Her eyes darted from one monitor to the next, trying to find something familiar, but they only made her more overwhelmed. Frequent microphone announcements echoed through the terminal, each one blending into the other, breaking her focus and making it harder for her to think clearly. The ambient lighting in the airport, a mix of soft blues and greens, was supposed to be calming, but it had the opposite effect on Susan. The colors blended into each other, making the already unfamiliar signs harder to read. She could no longer tell where she had come from or which direction she should go to return to her daughter. In her panic, Susan attempted to ask for help, but when she approached a group of security guards, she realized she couldn't provide any useful information. She couldn't remember the name of the lobby she had left Lily in, nor could she explain where she had last been. All her important documents, her passport, air ticket, and boarding pass were in her handbag, which she had left with Lily to avoid carrying too much. Without any identification or clear details, the security team struggled to assist her, leaving her feeling even more helpless. As the minutes ticked by, her heart raced. She was lost, unable to retrace her steps or find anyone who could help her. The modern, high-tech airport that should have made things easier had become a confusing trap, and Susan's unfamiliarity with its features made it impossible for her to regain her bearings. Just when she thought she would never find her way back, a calm, composed voice broke through the fog of her anxiety. "Excuse me, ma'am, you seem to be in distress. May I help you?" Susan turned to see a distinguished man, impeccably dressed in a tailored suit, standing before her. His name was Mr. Bennett, a seasoned traveler with an air of confidence and kindness. Seeing her distress, he had paused on his way to his next flight. Trembling, Susan explained her situation in broken sentences, recounting how she had left her daughter in a lobby, wandered off in search of a restroom, and now found herself completely lost. Mr. Bennett listened attentively, asking thoughtful questions to help piece together the puzzle. "Do you remember passing any large monitors or taking an elevator?" he asked. At the mention of the elevator, Susan's face lit up with recognition. "Yes, I thought it was a hallway, but it moved, and I ended up somewhere else." Mr. Bennett nodded, his eyes glinting with understanding. "I see what might have happened. These glass elevators can be hard to distinguish, and it sounds like you were transported to a different floor without realizing it. Let's check the upper level." With Susan in tow, Mr. Bennett led her to one of the large, nearly invisible glass elevators. They ascended to the next floor, where Susan's surroundings started to look familiar. The soft glow of the lighting still played tricks on her eyes, but as she scanned the area, she recognized a small detail, a colorful mural that had been near the lobby where she left Lily. Suddenly, a sound reached them, a faint voice calling out, "Mom!" It was Lily, standing not far away, her face etched with worry. Susan's heart leaped, and she rushed to her daughter, pulling her into a tight embrace. Tears of relief streamed down both their faces as they reunited, and Susan could hardly believe the ordeal was finally over. Turning back to Mr. Bennett, Susan struggled to find the words to express her gratitude. "Thank you. I don't know what I would have done without your help." Mr. Bennett smiled warmly. "It's my pleasure." These airports, with all their advanced technology, can be quite disorienting if you're not familiar with them. It happens more often than you think. Susan nodded, now understanding how the combination of her own unfamiliarity with the airport's high-tech features and the confusing design had led her astray. "I thought I was just going down a hallway," she said softly, "but everything here looks so similar. I had no idea it would take me to another floor." Mr. Bennett chuckled, offering a reassuring nod. It's easy to get lost in places like this. The important thing is that you and Lily are together again. With a final nod of thanks, Susan and Lily walked toward their gate, hand in hand, ready to continue their journey. As they disappeared into the crowd, Mr. Bennett resumed his own travels, satisfied in knowing that a small act of kindness had turned a moment of confusion into a heartfelt reunion.